Hello, everyone, and welcome to this class where you're going to get 3 tips on how to develop your English fluency. Now, there's one thing I want you to do. Make sure you stay to the end of the video so that you have extreme understanding of what it is that you need to do to develop your English fluency. I'm Dr. Priscilla, a native English speaker, and I live in the United States. So let's start. Drum roll. Tip number 1. Tip number 1 is an easy one. It is one that you've learned from the moment you were born. Practice, practice, practice. Remember, when you wanted to get something to eat, suckle milk from your mom or from the bottle, what did you do? You cried. And the reward was the attention to get that which you desired. And not much effort went into it. All that you needed to do was open your mouth and cry. And that is the tip number 1. If you want to become fluent in English, you must open your mouth. It is not enough to listen to podcasts. It is not enough to watch TV. It is not enough to sing songs. All of those things are good. Those things are good because it is going to enlarge your exposure to a variety of things, be it words, be it sounds, be it actions, the way that someone is going to characteristically demonstrate what it is they want you to know. But more importantly, you will need to practice. You will need to practice illuminating your voice. So every opportunity that you get to practice, I want you to grab that with both hands and practice. Now you may say, Dr. Priscilla, I don't have anyone to practice with. That is not true. There are thousands of videos on my YouTube channel, and there are even thousands of more videos on other people's channel. So the YouTube is busting with information that you can practice with. But I would like to encourage you to practice with 1 or 2 teachers. Preferably one of those will be from my videos. And by doing so, you're going to practice with the way that I enunciate. You will have the fluency in which I speak, and you've got a great reference to fall back on. So don't underestimate the opportunities that are available. I have a series of shadowing videos. Just click on video. I think if you just click on videos and you look for shadow reading, you will find a lot of shadow reading videos that we'll talk about those in another lesson. So our 3 tips, that is tip number 1, practice. Every opportunity that you get, I want to let you know that practice is going to be key. It isn't necessary for you to speak with anyone every moment that you are practicing, because you need to build up those muscles. Just as you see an athlete building their muscles, you are going to need to build up your speaking muscles. And the only person that can do that workout for you is you. You have to do that for yourself. Are you up for the challenge? I'm sure that you are. In the comment section below, let me know what are some of the things that you currently do to improve your fluency. Now, let's talk about tip number 2. Tip number 2 is getting out of your head. Get out of your head. So if you're wondering, what does it mean to get out of your head? To get out of your head means the translating. You're translating from your native tongue to English. Am I saying that it's impractical to think that you're going to do that? No. At some point, we all started doing that. We did that as a child. I'd like for my parents to do this for me, but what I'm asking, what I'm saying, the words that are coming out of my mouth are not generating the response that I want. For this reason, I have to retrain, rethink, and redo the way that I'm asking for whatever it is that I wish to have. Once you learn how to say what it is that you wish to have, you will need to refer back to number one, number one tip, which is to practice what you have just learned. I'm going to suggest that you start out by learning chunks of words, learning chunks of phrases, learning idioms, learning things that typically come in chunks. How are you doing today? That's a chunk. I don't have to think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is a chunk. I know that 4 follows 3. Hello, how are you doing? When you learn chunks of words, you can anticipate that someone is going to say an appropriate response. If I ask, how are you doing? The appropriate response, or one response, would be, I'm doing fine, or I'm not doing so fine. When you are anticipating what the response will be, you can have another thought coming into your head, such as, that's great, because they are doing wonderful. Or if they're not doing wonderful, I'm sorry to hear that. Then you let the conversation unfold as you learn whatever it is that you're going to learn, or as you learn what you learn. The only way that you're going to get to practice this is to find those opportunities, create those opportunities. You may even be asking, how can you create these opportunities? You can actually create these opportunities while you're watching television. You will hear an actor say something, and you may say, that was very nice. That was very thoughtful. You may even ask yourself out loud in words, I wonder why that was said. Will the TV give you an answer? Of course not. But you can anticipate what will come next. Another thing that you could do, if you watch a series of programs on television with the level of frequency, the actors are so predictable that you can almost imitate what it is that they're going to say. When you do that, you're building your fluency. You can even respond as the character. Someone knocks at the door. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? That's an appropriate response. You know automatically to say that. Just go ahead and practice and say that out loud. I think that if you continue to practice step 1, step 2, these 2 tips alone will carry you a great deal further than you would if you don't do something. Now, I did say that there are 3 tips. I want to let you in on another secret. Depending upon who you are listening to, there can be upwards of 1,000 tips. If you cannot master one tip, it isn't even necessary for you to even think about mastering above 1,000 tips. Start small. Choose 1 or 2 teachers, coaches that can actually help you, that you believe you are going to make strides with. And if you comment in the section below, I will do more than just respond in the video. I may even create a video specifically for you to address the issues or the concerns that you have. Now, thank you so much for staying and listening and waiting for tip number 3. Tip number 3 is the one that many students who are non-native English speakers will ask. How can I improve my vocabulary? How can I improve my vocabulary? Notice all of the books that are behind me. You improve your vocabulary by using the vocabulary that you have. No matter how many syllables are in the vocabulary words, no matter how many letters are in the book, in this word, or the phonetic spelling of the word. Without using it, it has no real purpose. What you want to do then is concentrate on your understanding of just one single way of that specific vocabulary word. When you learn that one specific vocabulary word, you can note that you truly know that one vocabulary word. So let's just go with one word, and I'll call that word associate. Associate. A-S-S-O-C-I-A-T-E. What is an associate? An associate is someone that you work with, interact with, or spend time with. That is my definition of an associate. Feel free to look up the word associate and use it as best as you can. But with my analogy, we're going with someone that you spend time with. It could be a coworker, could be a friend, could be someone that you just met and you enjoy being around them. This becomes an associate. Now that you know that word, let's look at the words with the ending shun. Association. This would be a suffix. Association. Okay? An association could be an organization. So it's bigger than just one individual. What associations do you belong to? Where are you a member of? Such as the alumni club at your university. Maybe you are at a library association. Whatever it is, that is another word that you've learned. Then you have associated. Associated means the past tense. The past tense of something. This word ends with ed, which is past tense, associated. Where have you been? I have associated with. What did you do? I associated with. Where are you going? I'm going to the association. So you can see that there are many ways, but we know that it is relatively close to an interaction. That way, when you start to use the word associate, it becomes very familiar to you and much easier to use. So what have we learned today? The 3 tips are practice. And tip number 2 is to actually pay attention to those things that are around you so that you don't have to translate in your head. Once you know something by chunking the words together, it becomes easier and easier for you to put longer sentences together, so you're stringing sentences together. The goal should not be to speak fast. The goal should be to speak with connected speech, and the words that come from your mouth are flowing. And we do that again. Now we add tip number 3, which is to build a working and viable vocabulary. I'd like to know, what did you think of what you just learned and heard from today's lesson about the 3 tips to English fluency? I'd love for you to leave a comment. Let me know how I can help you in the future. And until then, I'm Dr. Priscilla, a native English speaker, and I live in the U.S. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.